What's more interesting than reading about what communication was like more than 40 years ago? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It depends on what time you're watching this video, but it is currently 7:20 a.m. here, and I am about to do some reading before I get my day started. So I decided I would do a morning reads with you guys and introduce the new self-help book that I've been reading. It's called The Art of Conversation, Magic Key to Personal and Social Popularity. I got it at the last bookstore, which is a pretty big deal. It's located here in Los Angeles, and it's one of, if not the largest new and used bookstores in California. So if you ever get a chance to go and visit, please do. It's located in downtown LA. But I was looking through the self-help book section, and the title is what caught my eye first, The Art of Conversation. I don't see titles like that often. I was intrigued because don't we all want to be good at conversation, right? And then social popularity, I mean, another fun fact about it is that it was written in 1976 by a man named James A. Morris Jr. Do I know who that is? No, I do not. But according to his bio, he was a professional communicator and he held many leadership positions, and that was enough to sell me on the book, including the title and everything. But I thought it was really interesting that it was written in 1976 because it's 2020, and this was written before social media was prevalent and was as big of a thing as it is right now. What's more interesting than reading about what communication was like more than 40 years ago? One of his main points is that good conversation is key to popularity. It's the key to moving up at work. It's the key to making new friends and keeping friends. The whole point of the book is to give you the keys necessary to be the best conversationalist in any situation with anybody, including strangers, which I really appreciate because talking to strangers can be a little bit awkward. Some people talk too much, some people don't talk at all, and he gives you examples of how to talk to all kinds of different people. According to James, these magic keys that he introduces in this book are going to become a part of your personality. Once you practice them more and more, you just get used to it, and you will then become a better conversationalist. I'm personally on chapter 5, so the chapters that I've gotten through so far are 5 easy ways to start a rewarding conversation with anyone, how to be a sincere, interested, creative listener, automatically communicate your thoughts and ideas clearly, and shortcuts for deciding how to converse with any stranger. So I've learned a bunch of different things, and I'm not saying that I'm the most amazing conversationalist, but I think I'm getting to be pretty good. Chapter 5 is developing the timing instincts that make you an outstanding conversationalist. Timing, let's talk about it. We all know that when you're in conversation with someone, sometimes it's just not necessary to say certain things. Knowing exactly when is the right moment to speak up or keep quiet is a very profitable asset. Ask the boss for a go-ahead on a pet project, and you have the best chance for a yes answer if you hit him when his mood is right. Steer away from a critical remark when your wife is tired, and you'll preserve domestic harmony. Is that not the truth? Okay, I'm not married, so I don't know, but I think we've all been in situations where we want to bring something up to someone, but they're already irritated, they're tired, maybe they just got home from work. Hopefully you've thought about this. Hopefully you're thinking, maybe I shouldn't bring this up right now. This is not the right time. You know, they're already upset, and that's good, I think. If you have been able to consciously recognize that maybe it's not a good time to bring something up, I think you're doing well. That means that you are thinking about the other person, which is always a good thing. Whether in business, at home, or in social situations, knowing when to speak, listen, or change the subject can make you a more popular and successful conversationalist. The easiest way to increase your popularity through sharper conversational timing is to put yourself in the other fellow's shoes. He uses the word fellows a lot. I think it's because it was 1976. I feel like everything goes back to putting yourself in someone else's shoes. Always in life. You're just supposed to do it at all times. You need to step outside of yourself and try and see things from their perspective. And having a conversation is no different. Is what you're about to say going to affect them in a negative way? Is what you're about to say going to be helpful in this situation, or is it going to make things worse? Is he enthusiastic or tired? Ready to listen or preoccupied? Discouraged or optimistic? Simple. What mood is he in or she in? At one time or another, everyone becomes enthusiastic about an idea he has. You've seen it happen. A friend becomes so excited about his idea, so eager to tell you about it, that he is literally bursting with talk. Diana, did you hear about the Halloween party I'm helping our church plan for the youngsters? And then you say, a party's a good idea. It'll keep the kids off the street and out of trouble. Are you going to do anything special to amuse the kids? Diana says, well, we'll have refreshments, of course, and when a younger child arrives, we'll send him down a dark hallway, ... She goes on and on. I personally know that this has happened to me in real life, where you're talking with someone, you may ask them one question and they just kind of go on and on and on, and there's no room for you to talk. He says, the timing is wrong. Diana hasn't stopped talking. She's merely pausing for breath or to gather her thoughts or to seek the right word. When a person is bursting with talk, he's not ready to listen. His mind isn't ready to pay attention to what you have to say. And earlier in the book, he goes into why it's important to clear your mind of your thoughts, basically, and any judgments that you have about that person and what that person is about to say before you start having a conversation. The easiest way to handle the situation and to win her gratitude at the same time is to be a good listener. Common sense tells you not to change the topic in situations like this. The other person just isn't ready to listen. I really appreciate this book. I really do. I appreciate the tips, and I know I'm not done yet. This is not a full-blown review, but I have noticed that he doesn't go into how to survive a conversation like this, because I don't know if you guys have ever been in conversations like this where you just don't feel like you can speak at all and you're kind of waiting for your chance to say something, but the person just goes on and on. It's an exhausting situation a lot of the times, and I wish that he would have went into how to either exit the conversation or just how to mentally survive it and how to input yourself in the conversation even when someone's not giving you room to talk. Like, that's what I need help on. When the other fellow is tired or wrapped up in his own thoughts, reject your own desire for quick and immediate action. Let his feelings determine your timing. You can always talk to him later when he is less preoccupied and in a better mood to listen to your idea. Your chances of getting a yes answer will be much better then. Maybe in a few hours. Maybe in a few hours they will have had a coffee, they had a lunch break, they're feeling better. Ask them then, not right now. I noticed that, according to James, it's mostly about just paying attention to people, paying attention to their personality, and realizing that you have to alter the way you talk and communicate with people depending on their energy and what they're giving you, because you can't interact with everybody the exact same way. That's just not going to work. So later in the chapter, he goes into how to keep your listeners attentive. So how to make sure that the person that you're having a conversation with is interested in the conversation the whole entire time. And he gives an example. There's this guy, his name is Larry. Larry went to a play over the weekend and he really enjoyed the play. It was really funny. And on Monday, he wanted to go in and talk to his coworkers about this play that he loved. Before Larry said anything, he first put himself into his coworkers' shoes by listening to their remarks. He wanted to catch what direction the conversation was taking before he shared his new jokes. The conversation that his coworkers are having at this moment is about the Dodgers, and it's about baseball season. It's just not the right time to bring up the play at this moment. It's just not. The listening before you speak process is too vital to bypass. Before you speak up in any conversation, First, open your ears to learn what the group is talking about. Then, speak up on the topic that is holding their interest at the moment. And this makes so much sense. I don't know if you guys have ever been in group conversations with people and you guys are talking about a certain topic and then somebody just comes from complete left field and starts talking about something totally different, or someone interrupts the conversation and it's not, they bring up a point that's not at all about what you were talking about, and everyone's kind of looking at them like, why did you bring that up? It's because the timing. Keeping your listeners attentive requires more than just knowing a lot of facts. It means evaluating the knowledge you have and keying it into the educational level of the others present. He says that it's important to know the education level of the person that you're talking to. I do agree that you need to recognize who you're talking to. And when it's a stranger, obviously it's harder to do this because you don't know anything about this person, which is why you usually start some type of general conversation so you can gauge their interest and just go from there. But when you're talking to someone that you know, maybe a coworker or something, you need to know who you're talking to. And that doesn't mean that you need to know everything about them. You don't need to know specifically what school they went to, but you need to kind of gauge how much they actually know about this specific topic. He says, assume that you're in a PTA meeting and you're having a discussion about the high cost of living with some of the other parents. And this is a specific topic that you know a lot about because you read a lot about it, you're interested in this specific topic. Let's assume that you are. But again, before talking, put yourself in the other fellow's shoes by looking around and noting who is present. Sam and Joan are there. They're very pleasant people. We love Sam and Joan, but they're not well informed. And the narrow viewpoints on life held by Jack and Mary don't imply a very broad outlook either. So I feel like he is basically saying, rely on past experiences and things that they've taught you about themselves to gauge whether or not what you're about to say is gonna fly over their heads or not. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all of you. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope you got some new conversation tips. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at reading.n.black. Subscribe before you go so you don't miss anything else. And I'll be seeing you in my next video.